Hello everyone! I bring to you today a match on Secret Ways, a map made by Pinwheel, great mapper. This is a map on the Global League currently. It might or might not get rotated out very soon. I don't know. We'll see. But we have, as we can go ahead and start with the match very slowly. But this is a 4-base mixed map. It is like Caustic Finale, but a little bit bigger and with a little bit higher income than Caustic Finale. And honestly, more fronts. There's like more areas to fight for than in Caustic Finale. So it's similar, but different. And also there's no airports, but our players are going to be hapahauli and XLnapkins, or extra large napkins. Both are very solid players. Hapahauli, 1500 players, so really good, and napkins is like a 1300 players. So this is like a 200 elo difference. Hapahauli being the more favorite here, 1500 elo player versus a 1300. But once you're at 1300, you're pretty solid at that game. Honestly, there's just like maybe a few fine tunings here or there, but also napkins is kind of new, so the sky is the limit for this player. So matchup wise, this is a tier 1 matchup, and we have Sammy versus Sasha. Very interesting. Honestly, very cool to see Sammy being picked here. I feel like it's the harder CO to play with. The easiest would be Sasha for sure. Perhaps you could go with Max here. I think Max is put at tier 2 here, but I think he's pretty good. But Sasha should be alright. And I've seen some hog picks as well. The argument here for Sammy is that this is like Caustic Finale, lots of bases, no airports, and lots of infantries. But the thing is that it's higher income, so Sammy's gonna have a harder time here than she does in Caustic Finale. And so because you have these mixed base, you can have these two bases, kind of sandwiched between these two bases and fighting over here, and then the same thing over here. So it's like double 2-base areas that are responsible for a whole lot. You have these comm towers in the middle over here. You're gonna have these corners that are gonna be very contested. The HQ seems pretty safe, honestly, but it can become under threat, especially with Sammy on the table. So that's gonna be a problem. There's always a big dispute over this one single city on the symmetry line and this other one on this symmetry line. And then there's some fighting over these two as well. Yeah, it gets complicated pretty fast. There's definitely an advantage here for player 2, because they can get over here a little bit fast and they can chain towards this city, or they can position over these two cities as well a little bit faster. As hapahauli is actually going to move this infantry one tile further than Napkins did. I guess Napkins is more like, oh, I'm going to go for either this one or this city, and hapahauli is just like, actually I'm going to go for this one or interrupt yours. That's the thing with Sammy here, make sure you want to use her day-to-day of the capture thing, that you need to interrupt her captures, you're going to need 2 units instead of 1. So that's something that you're going to want to exploit from Sammy. But being careful, right? Because you don't want to lose your infantry just like, oh, yay, I got my city, and then it just gets killed the next turn, and then your city gets flipped in like 2 turns. Sammy wants to have those infantry alive. So you kind of have to use the advantage very precisely. As we see Hapa opening with the first tank over here on the right, and then Napkins is going to make a tank and a recon. And because Sasha gets those extra funds, she's going to be able to pump out those extra vehicles every turn, right? And the funds are going to align so nicely that Sasha's going to have exactly 10k next turn to make another tank and triple infantry, plus with plus this spare recon that Napkins was able to pump out. And Hapa's actually going to go for that interrupt on this infantry, which only Sammy can really get that 8-5 really nicely with nothing to support it here. So I don't think that Napkins should have gone here. Maybe this infantry could have gone for this city instead, as it wasn't interruptible. It was maybe for this one, but then you would have to interrupt your own capture. So yeah. Perhaps not the best idea here, because even this is a losing trade. That firepower from Sammy is so strong that if you don't have a backup, yeah, this is a lost. This is a goner. So tank is gonna move in over here, trying to take over this area. Player 1 does get that first vehicle out, so They can put some pressure over here, and there you see, yeah, there you have it. Even the counter attack, that's just the losing trade right here. And this recon is going to try to put some pressure over here on this corner. Recons are pretty good here for that, for the corners, since tanks are not going to be that good over here. It's going to be, if you send the tank over here, it's going to have a hard time front switching. And I think the best things here are infantry, recon, and artillery, similar to Caustic Finale, you know. So that's gonna pose some threat here for Hapa. You know, it's gonna mean you have to invest what, a tank, a recon of your own, or artillery. Like this single recon is gonna already cause a lot of decisions here from Hapa on the next turn on what to build. Like you're gonna have 13k, so it's like, do you make a tank here? Do you make it over here? Do you wanna make a tank chain over here? But then you're gonna leave this corner to die. I think not. I think if you probably have to make another tank over here. But you can see now the extra funds here for Sasha just coming into play, right? Because it naturally, if it wasn't Sasha, this recon would not exist. And this is now forcing Hapa to make a tank on the left to respond to this recon. But at the same time, Sasha has a tank chain over here, so it's like, what do you do? So you kind of have to take your losses, and you have to pick your fights and take your losses against Sasha. Really, it's very, very tricky. And how about Sasha gonna sit this tank on the city? I think Sasha can just go and first strike this. This is a Sami tank, right? It has less firepower. But yeah, now I'm gonna decide on making the tank on the left instead of gonna make it on the right. Instead of gonna respond to the recon with a mech, which is not the best answer for a recon, but perhaps it is on this corner since there's no, there's not much front switching. So maybe it's just kind of a slow answer, and it is also giving up the city because the Napkins will be able to go and start this capture with nothing of these in range since they were put back to be protected from this mech. And since that infantry was used to, to finish off that infantry, it is now being taken out by the other one. Probably didn't have to keep fighting there, or like take out that infantry from Napkins. Probably Hapa could have just pulled the 5 HP infantry and leave the 2 HP one there. But yeah, as you guys can probably see, this is a new little format of the thing. This is something really cool that TrueKnit worked on. So thanks TrueKnit, this is awesome. So I'm putting it to the test. And ooh, there we go, that 8-6. Wow, that's pretty horrible. That's actually a good roll from Napkins, as I mean, it's a likely roll, but still a good roll to get the 6 on this Sami tank. But then only 2 damage back. That's crazy. Recon is actually gonna front switch back, and the other format change is that I'm kind of speed running through this replay a little bit. Just trying it out, just trying to see how it feels. You guys let me know how it feels for you, right? As we get a little interrupt here, another 8-5, beautiful by Sami. And yeah, you have to pull back that tank. No comm towers, right? This is a 90 firepower tank, so it is gonna allow somebody to go and first strike this tank with a healthy one. And there is more tanks being made over here. It looks like this is just the tank side. Recon is now successfully front switched from over here, because that's what you can do against mechs. It takes a while, but now it'll be in range here to threaten some of this area. Perhaps also it is pointing at that comm tower, so it is somewhat contesting it. I mean, it is Sami, so Sami's still gonna get the capture on the comm tower. I think something nice that Sami can try to do here is try to go for the double comm tower, and then all your units are stronger than your opponents. But actually Hapa, right, because this tank wasn't in time, so this tank this tile was left alone as this one was sent back to repair. So now Napkin's gonna be able to take over the city, mostly to stop this infantry from capping it. Hapa is gonna get one of these cities over here, and we'll have to interrupt this comm tower cap. The thing is that there's these tanks and this recon kind of flexible, right? They can go to either side, but they're protecting this. So if Hapa decides to go and interrupt this comm tower cap, these infantry are gonna get taken down, and then it's probably guaranteed that Napkins is gonna get that comm tower. So instead, Hapa is gonna go over here, gonna bring another of these infantry, just gonna have 4 infantry and 1 mech in this corner. But it'll depend what Napkins decides to do. Perhaps with an artillery buy here would be really nice by Napkins, honestly. It's really nice. In one turn, so it gets here and it locks down this city. And, okay. Gonna block off. Okay, gonna attack there and just be very defensive over here. Not really gonna go for much. Gonna let Napkins get that com tower and just gonna put this tank on a nice tile, bring this one over here to somewhat protect these infantry from this recon. I guess it does. And tank is gonna be sent over here to this corner. This city is still not getting capped by Napkins, it seems like. And this tank looks like okay, we're gonna get a nice little attack here on this infantry. Something with Sami tanks is that you can do this. You can put a normal tank on a forest, or say your Hawk, for example. This is something that someone had done to me, and as I was Sami, and it's like, oh yeah, first strike me with your Sami tank against my Hawk tank on a forest, and it is a losing trade for Sami. That's how bad it is. So there we go. Sami tank gonna boom get a 7-6, right? It's not even that great. It's just like 1 HP difference. And then this tank can hit back, or it can just go back and repair. It's honestly not a bad trade. It's just 1 HP difference in a tank. And while this is much harsher, right? Like Sami lost so much HP on this one infantry. And Sami is all about those infantry and those mechs. If she doesn't have those, it's like, you know, she has less firepower units, her powers don't do much, so she really needs to bank on that infantry and mech count to not only to put pressure and cap stuff, but also for when those powers come in, then she can actually do stuff. I'm gonna start this capture with this mech in range and also this tank, but Napkins is gonna send that recon that is kind of gone and then come back. But yeah, now we're gonna take that out and possibly hit to KO this infantry maybe. Just take out some of Sami's infantry. Gonna go for that roll. Doesn't get the roll on the kill, but still leaves it at 1. Gonna bring another recon. So many recons here from Sasha, making use of those extra funds by Sasha. And yeah, there we go, boom. And also just against Sami, it's pretty great, like forcing her to respond to those recons with tanks, right? So out of a half vehicle from Sasha that even cost her less, I guess, because she gets extra money, is forcing Sami to invest units that's double the value. But there she goes. There goes Hapa. We're gonna take that out, and we're gonna use the mech probably to one-hit KO that mech. That recon, boom. Get another first strike, boom. And this is, it might look okay, but it kind of isn't. Like, this is actually good long-term for Sasha, because all these infantry fighting is gonna, if it's an even trade, it's just gonna be better. Say Sami again, it's just gonna lose those infantry numbers, and then she won't be able to cap much. And there we go, gonna get a nice first strike, and then we're gonna get another one here. Wow, not getting a 5 trade on a forest is pretty crazy. But all of that was to get that power out by Hapa, because as you might well know, Sasha will for sure drain your charge with that power. So as soon as you can get a power, you might as well just use it, even if it is for the extra stats. So we're gonna go for a few first strikes here on this infantry, which is brutal. Those double time infantry, that's a KO, yeah. Those double time infantry from Sami are really strong, and those are gonna be some nice clear ups. Even the mech is gonna be in a city, so not even this mech can probably do too much damage to this mech without getting destroyed in the counterattack. And just gonna sacrifice this guy to interrupt. Not a lot of health infantry here from Napkins because of the tank spam over here, but oof, it's gonna be tricky. I think the one that's on the clock here for sure is gonna be Sami. So as long as Napkins can keep, an even game, it should be okay. Just even game and brawling, it should be really favorable, really favorable for Sasha, for Napkins. So that's what Napkins should be aiming for. And wow, can't even kill that mech right there. We're gonna get a strike there. So now this whole force is kind of neutralized. There's only one healthy infantry here by hapahauli. There's another healthy tank here though that can respond, but we have a few more from Napkins. All this is gonna get attacked, boom boom. But it looks like Hapa is gonna get this city, but then we'll have to retreat, possibly bring in a tank to respond. And ooh, that's a yeah. Don't recommend attacking with infantry onto these mechs, especially when you don't have a lot of infantry in the area. I know a lot of people love to say, "Ooh, yeah, just attack mechs with your infantry." Sure. And then you see this, like, huh? Then you have no infantry in that area. Like, infantry are valuable, right? It's not so mathematical. It's not so, oh, 1,000 funds deal on a unit that is worth 3,000. It's not like that. Like, infantry become more valuable at this point. Like, look, you're forced to make so many vehicles. Having that healthy infantry is going to be so worth it. I guess you could say like all these cities are already under control by napkins, but still, like, having that infantry is nice. I don't think this was even needed. Like, did it do much value? I don't know. But yeah, Hapa gonna get that flip. So finally getting that income advantage on Sasha. So it's gonna be 22 properties against 19. Getting that extra 100 funds right there. You're gonna sacrifice a few tanks here, try to get that kill, but it looks like also Hapa was able to successfully get this cap, but I'm not sure how long that will hold. Granted, I mean, given that there isn't that many infantry here from Hapa, this is most likely gonna die, and then Napkins can just take 3 turns to capture it next with his 7 HP infantry. So big clear ups over here, not much infantry left, especially for Sammy. So these 2 cities are not gonna get captured by Hapa, but Napkins is probably banking on that. You have this healthy infantry, you have this one also, which might wanna go for here. So all in all, maybe an okay turn here by Hapa, but still you do have to keep that pressure on, and you wanna get more of an advantage. I think if it were to like stall, then it could benefit Sammy, but as long as Sasha can keep it even and roll, it's gonna be really good. So we're gonna get another power here by Sasha, market crash. So just to drain some funds, I guess. It's a little bit of an extra stats, but not really that much needed. And yeah, gonna first strike there. So kind of taking out these tank numbers over here, letting Hapa get these 2 cities. So gonna give up on, like, it's a 3k swing, right, of income. So interesting decision, but I think it's worth it if you're able to really take down the vehicle numbers and then eventually recover this. But again, because of the lack of those infantry, if that infantry hadn't sacrificed against that mech, then maybe it would speed up the process of flipping this back, but oh well. Gonna keep brawling over here. The city is really staying under control of Napkins and just making more mechs and trying to heal up these tanks. I guess it's fine. The thing is that these infantry are now gonna get shot at by these vehicles. You even have the artillery support to defend from probably only this tank, really. These are not really that much of a threat, and just gonna keep sitting on the city, just like really preventing Napkins from getting it. But yeah, we're at 24 against 18 properties. So looking good now in the income department for Hapa, but the trades haven't been really that good if you look at the unit value or even at the unit count. So this is what Napkins is going to try to use to bring back that income, right? Going to use that unit count, going to use that unit value, and just try to flip those properties so that Sammy doesn't kind of bring back the game. You know, if it just stays at the same income as it is, then Sammy will eventually catch up and have more of a unit value than Sasha. But so far, that's not the case. Having more income, it takes a while to kick in. You need a few turns for it to kick in and then have more of an army. It's not an instant thing. It's not like a one-turn thing. Oh, I have more income. No. So Sammy, Hapa is really going to have to try to hone that income, but it looks like this city is going to get flipped, and then possibly this one. Again, the army difference is just so noticeable. Can't really attack over here again. A lot of these infantry got picked off. Now this infantry is going to be 2 turns away from flipping this. Nothing that Hapa can really do, and nothing that Hapa can do to stop this, unless you sacrifice another tank. I guess we're sacrificing some units over here to do some damage, but okay, I'm gonna try to flip this, but it looks like this city is not really gonna flip. This is just gonna stay blue for the rest of this match, most likely. And there you go. Napkins gets 1, 2, 3 cities in one turn. Wow, flipping that income. Property count is almost even. Like Hapa is still ahead by 1, but because of that Sasha day today of the extra 100 funds, Sasha's gonna have more income. So now it truly isn't looking too good for Sammy as another market crash comes in. Gonna get that guaranteed KO there, boom. And it is leaving that tile there. I guess you could put this tank right there if you don't want to, but honestly, maybe put it there just so that this tank doesn't freely attack over here. But does Napkins do it? Maybe not. Okay, never mind. Napkins doesn't mind getting hit here. Okay, so let's see. This city is not gonna get captured, so just yet. We're gonna try to take it out. Yeah, there you go, boom. And then we're gonna get that little hit there. Gonna bring all those tanks. This is the again the classic problem that you start spamming tanks on one side, and then you don't have any infantry. Look how many infantry Hapa has over here. I guess it's not even that many, right? Just because of so much brawling. There was like 3 infantry here that got picked off. All the infantry brawling over here. So it's gonna be really hard. Like you have your double time, but you don't even have the units that get affected by it. So I guess it's fine to hold it since Sasha most likely won't be able to get a market crash next turn. So yeah, then you can use it. So it looks like that's what Hapa's gonna try to do. And then again, just gonna try to keep pressuring this area as this infantry is finally gonna make its way to capture that. This one's probably gonna go for here. You even got the artillery to protect. It's pretty good against mechs, but not so much against Sammy mechs with that double time. But it's still pretty good in general against other tanks. And they're getting all these tank strikes, all these like the tanks from this area with the ones over here joining in this area to kind of crush these tanks over here. While these mechs aren't really in time. I guess this one is with a double time, but it is just one of them. And then this one got first struck by this recon. It will get blown up by this mech. But yeah, there's just so many tanks. They're all kind of injured, but still there's so many tanks. And none of the tanks from Sammy can really reach. At least not comfortably. There's only one of them right here. But it can attack here and get shot by artillery. It shoots here. It's not very pretty. And we have even more tanks here from Sasha. If Napkins even needs, can front switch them over here. And yeah, it's looking pretty solid for Napkins, honestly. Hapa is not going to be able to interrupt this capture either, so that's going to be another property flip. We're going to try to go for these. Most likely not going to happen. Maybe this one, if you put a tank here. You're going to take out one tank. Send these to repair, gonna take out that recon. And okay, and investing more infantry over here in this corner. Really investing a lot of infantry over here. Yeah, it gets tricky. Managing that infantry count is definitely very tricky. You would assume that it's easy because you have 4 bases, but when you have so many fronts and it's so brawly, it's hard. You have 1 single infantry over here against 3 of Sasha. You just now are making 2 to send some more. I think Hapa's trying to bank on flipping this. I mean, you can't really bank on getting an HQ cap. It looks like maybe Napkins was like, I should be careful of a possible victory march. But yeah, that didn't happen. And this mech is gonna get shot by this artillery. Gonna probably shoot all these infantry. No tank really here to defend. So gonna get some nice shots. Gonna try to take those out. Oh, okay, that works too. I guess just put the tank there. The thing is that you're sacrificing that unit value, right, to get the income. But as long as he can hold it, so this is going to guarantee these 2 cities are gonna get flipped by Sammy. But now we're having this overwhelming unit count over here by Napkins. It's like now Napkins can really dictate. This is the biggest threat on the map, really. You have a big amount of tanks and artillery that can also base lock. Right, this base, it can be sitting on any of these tiles really, and be and block off any mech trying to shoot at it or whatever. As Hapa doesn't have a lot of unit count, so it's gonna get very tricky. These tanks are gonna try to come over here to try to defend. but it's not gonna be that easy. And there we go. We're gonna get another double time, and gonna take out a few of these. Looks like we're sending more infantry over here to the top. There's a little bit of a stare off over here. We got all these mirroring tanks, right? It's very funny. We're gonna join a few, I think, to get a few extra funds. Maybe get a medium tank, perhaps. Not sure. Okay, no. Okay, infantry, tank, infantry. Okay, so there's a little bit of a clear over here of infantry, and yeah, respecting a little bit this threat right here. We'll see what Napkins decides to do. It's looking. I mean, I would put my bets on Sasha right here, just because it's even, it's brawling. If Hapa could somehow get some more properties and hold that income for a few turns, then it would be looking nicer. Ooh, and even, yeah, not having a unit in range of this city is going to be a problem. Now that's going to get flipped, and now that mech is going to get bullied on, and it looks like Napkins might be going for that base lock opportunity. So yeah, that is going to be something. And we have 2 more infantry ready in position to start capturing these 2 cities, and just having all these units, just overwhelming unit count, right? That's what it can do. It can be used as blockers. So now only these 2 tanks could really do something. But again, there's an artillery. There's so many other tanks. These aren't in range of anything just yet. It's gonna be so tricky. So we're gonna make sure that doesn't go through. It also allows that mech to blow up that tank. Ooh, doesn't get the kill again. Gonna get infantry in range of that city. Ooh, first strike that mech, but not that good of a trade. And gonna take out that infantry, get this one in range of the city. So, okay, now Napkins will need to have something in range to interrupt this next turn. And it's not gonna be an infantry, so it's gonna have to be a tank. Ooh, actually 2 tanks. Okay, so maybe Hapa will get the city for guaranteed, pretty much. Because yeah, 1 single tank is not gonna stop that capture. And looks like Hapa is gonna double down on this fight over here. There is, like, these 2 tanks are still in range. Like, this city is pretty safe, but I guess you can do that. And then, oh, did we just join there? Okay, yeah, that was like a join to get some cash. And attack the little infantry and gets a rocket. Okay, I know what the rocket is for. I think the rocket is to put it like 2 tiles over here and then unlock or dislodge the artillery lock. That is going to happen very soon. So there we go, another market crash. We're gonna get a shot there, and our tank goes down. Some of these tanks are actually gonna come down and take out these, which is pretty much the biggest tank force that Hapa had, besides maybe this, but this is just a big stare off. They're just like, you know, you go first kind of thing. And yeah, there we're gonna bring all those, and maybe artillery doesn't get in range, just respecting that mech, probably just put it 1 tile back to protect this capture. And actually gonna start that capture over there. Ooh, went for a 2-hit KO with the tanks because of that guaranteed with the power, and now starts that capture. Again, keeping the game brawly. So I think Napkins is doing such a great job, honestly, playing this matchup really, really nicely. This rocket, I guess it did its job, but I feel like it wasn't really necessary. I don't think you should be that scared of a base lock, although if it does get to that, you might be already dead. I think the way to dislodge it though is that you kind of want to join the forces and then crush them. But yeah, I don't know, it's tricky. We're gonna go for the guaranteed to KO there, and then get some first strikes with these tanks that have been sitting there for a long time waiting for something like this to happen. And gonna get that interrupt, bring that rocket, so that I'm not sure why so far forward. Okay, and makes a medium tank. So investing really heavily over here, and it's gonna block this tile so the rocket doesn't get hit by these tanks. And then yeah, this is gonna be a guaranteed flip, as I was mentioning before. Doesn't get that kill there, and it looks like this is gonna be another guaranteed flip right here. So Hapa's gonna get 2 guaranteed flips. So Hapa still doing a good job at staying in the game and looking for opportunities to bring it back. So very, very cool. Ooh, why did it do so much damage? What? Is that normal? Okay, that infantry must have been chipped or something, because that's not normal. Yeah. This tank is actually gonna deal a little bit of damage onto that rocket, and artillery just gonna pull back. I think Napkin's gonna be happy to get this, and not gonna be able to get this, but yeah, that unit value is looking really solid from Napkins. And the overinvestment over here from Hapa is going to mean that now Napkins can kind of shift somewhere else. This was a little bit of a losing tank trade by Napkins. I guess in the end, it wasn't really worth it at all, losing kind of 2 tanks. They did go in for repairs and lost that infantry. I guess Hapa did lose 1 tank, so it was somewhat of an even trade. But yeah, the overinvestment over here, the way of dealing against a medium tank, against a rocket, is, you know, send your stuff somewhere else. So you have all these tanks over here in this side too. You have all these tanks over here. Like, what is Hapa gonna do against these tanks, right? Yes, this got flipped by Hapa. That is nice, and this is actually not gonna get flipped, which is crazy. But these tanks, there's 4 pretty healthy tanks over here, and no healthy tanks from Hapa right here, and none on the way. He's gonna have to make one right now, or make a medium tank probably. No medium tank. Okay, tank artillery. Yeah, this is gonna clean up this area, and then this infantry is gonna be able to flip these again. Oh, this is such a brawly match, and such a long one too. And now this is a nice cleanup over here. These 2 tanks that have been sent by Napkins just to stop this capture, but now to clean up. There's no units over here by Hapa, and now this infantry is gonna be able to start threatening this. I guess you could bring the rocket, but such a big investment of the rocket, honestly, just to be locking down properties from afar. It's not very cool. And now I have a Neo tank from Napkins, and we have this artillery, this nice little setup against, again, the cleanup from the tanks that I was saying, and then we got this nice bundle up over here, just getting away from the rocket and the medium tanks. Like, you know what? Fine. You're gonna leave those 30k of your army, 1/3 of your army literally is gonna be useless right now. And there's also these other 3 tanks. So pretty much 50% of the army right here is right here, and it's not gonna do much. It's not gonna get any value this turn. So Napkins is gonna all-inning with all that army somewhere else. I'm gonna try to take some captures. I mean, even that HQ could be in danger, you know? And it's just way too many tanks. Like, even if you start pumping out double tank every turn, Napkins is also going to be sending this new tank is going to be in response to this medium tank, but it could also be sent. It could also be sent over here. I do think that you can have to respect this area as Napkins, because your HQ is right here and this is Sammy, so something to consider. Maybe Hapa is going for a Hail Mary HQ cap with Sammy, but yeah, this is like not looking very good for Hapa at all. Finally, first time the city gets captured in the whole game. Now we have officially no neutral cities on the map. And yeah, Napkins is gonna try to get that, gonna clean up some of these infantry, gonna bring more tanks to start attacking these. It's just an overwhelming tank number over here. Gonna not have, like, look at all these super injured units from Hapa. This one single tank against these. Well, what are you gonna do? Hit the one on the HQ, hit this one, then get attacked back. We have this infantry ready to go for that. This one's possibly gonna go for this. There's so many captures to get, and Napkin still has the income lead. So the only thing that could be a threat right now is that it's like an HQ cap from Sammy. So Napkins is like, you know what? I need to be careful. I need to double base skip for a Neo tank to keep this chain going. Just being so respectful of that Sammy HQ cap. I mean, there's no cap going to, like, that's gonna happen this turn, but still, it's funny. Getting that artillery set up, gonna try to flip that, get this infantry in range of, well, not much really, but with a double time, it could, you know, hit this guy, it could start one of these 2 captures. But yeah, it looks like Napkins is gonna get this city flip right here, which it definitely hurts a lot because it is so close from the space, right, as Hapa. So that's tough. But I mean, Hapa did get these as well, with which they are literally like 3 tiles away. But yeah, again, tank clear up. Oh, I mean, Hapa went for that tank attack there. Yeah, it's not. Oof. Just getting like half a tank damage to then get yours destroyed is not good. And gonna get enough charge for another market crash. Gonna bring in that Neo tank to destroy that medium tank. Oh, and even within minimum range of that rocket. Oh, I think this is it. That was the nail in the coffin for Hapa, and yeah, Hapa decides to tap out. Oof. Good game to both. That was really fun. Really well executed there by Napkins to try to use those extra vehicles from the extra funds from Sasha and try to force more tanks from Sammy, as she had less of them, into different areas. Really good effort from Hapa to try to come back into the game so many times, was able to flip so many properties. And in certain moments, Napkins didn't go for that many good trades, like the one over here. And then maybe with the few moments of having a little bit of an income lead by Hapa, slowly could maybe catch up with a value, with a unit value. But in the end, just it being so brawly, it was so hard to keep up with the infantry count, losing the ones in this corner, the ones in this corner, the ones in this corner, even after capping all of this. But up to the extent of losing everything, then you're just gonna lose all those properties, and then just Napkins is gonna have every corner. Like Napkins has this corner, has this corner, and will soon have this corner, and is losing on every tank fight. Like, these tanks are putting so much pressure. There's not enough tanks to deal with these, not enough that you can build really to deal with them. And you're also losing on this front with this Neo attack on the medium tank, the rocket not being able to shoot at it. That Hail Mary HU cap was just not gonna happen. So yeah, great game. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate if you do. It does mean a lot to me. We can keep that engagement of the channel going. It would be awesome, because YouTube is pretty brutal. The YouTube algorithm is pretty brutal with the engagement. It really looks for the subscribers and the likes and the comments and all that stuff. And if you guys want to do it, I would be very thankful. It would help a lot for the channel, for engagement, to get the channel out there. That would be amazing. And by the way, I'm not sure when I'm gonna be posting this, but I am hosting a live tournament, and it's called APC Anonymous Player Cup. It is very hype, and I am live streaming it, so stay tuned. Keep an eye out for the alerts on YouTube or whatever for when I'm live streaming. Right now it's the qualifiers, and then the main event is going to be in November 9, 10, 16 and 17. That's going to be the main event of APC. So I hope to see you there, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.